We at Braingrade, we want to overcome our limitations and we want to help millions of Alzheimer patients. And I want to start with something very encouraging, because this is actually the result of a patient with Alzheimer's, severe Alzheimer's, prior to stimulation, and this is after a 10-week therapy what he was capable of reproducing. This patient could remember again the names of his children. Unfortunately, all of you know, Alzheimer's is still a huge problem. Many people have it, not too many know that we even have fast increasing numbers in deaths. In the last 19 or 20 years, 145%. And we are facing today a $1.3 trillion problem. It will be soon a problem large as the GDP of the United Kingdom. And the problem is that drugs today give you, from the time when you got your diagnosis to severe Alzheimer's, only 1 additional year. We believe that with a brain implant, we can extend this to 10+ years. Andreas Lüchow, head of neurology at the Charité, says always, if we just get 5 years, this already would be sensational. So how do we plan to do that? This is actually with a fully implantable closed-loop neurostimulator. It is fully invisible under the skin. It's a next-generation deep brain stimulator. You see 4 leads going into the brain and with a stimulation unit in the chest. Professor Sturm says this would be a real game changer. But this is only the hardware. Similar important are actually the stimulation algorithms we're using for the patients. These are coming from one of my co-founders, Dr. Christian Hauptmann. He has been head of neurotech at the largest research center, Jülich, in Germany. And he always says these are actually the patents we could take over, are the crown jewels of a patent portfolio, what they wanted to sell for 20 million. And luckily, now we have it. And even Nature, they got mentioned about the future of deep brain stimulation. But that's only one part, because you also want to get and deliver this stimulation. And for that, we've developed a new electrode. It's a HD electrode based on silicon carbide. And Elon Musk said last time at the presentation of Neuralink how to solve their biggest problems. And he said, yes, material science and silicon carbide is the best material. We agree, and we are very happy that the guy sitting to the left, Felix, our CTO, is now producing these electrodes for us. When you have all the data, you have to close the loop. And we are not only closing them on the electrophysiological data, we also want to close it from the data and the information we get from the patient. So you have this positive flywheel, what is so difficult with medtech devices, because it takes so long to develop them, but to get more data to improve therapy, and with more therapy you have more patients, again, more data, and so on, and also greater devices. Why will bioelectronics succeed where drugs in billions of research and development money in Alzheimer's has been failed today? It is because we directly interact and intervene with the brain, and not only try to improve biomarkers and then the electrophysiology in the brain, but we do both. And this will create clinical, meaningful outcomes for the patients. So how does it work? In the Alzheimer's brain, the oscillation and the synchrony of specific brain waves break down, and we, through the stimulation, recreate them. So how does it look in practice? We are stimulating the cholinergic center of the brain, the nucleus basalis of Maynard. And this has multiple positive inflections for the brain. We are restoring the cholinergic tone. We are actually kickstarting this glucose metabolism. We are decreasing the cognitive decline, and we even slow down brain atrophy. And last but not least, we improve what you saw in the first 2 slides, the memory. And this has been proven in over 120 animal studies and over long time studies in humans. And we add to that kind of stimulation in the memory center, the hippocampus, the CA1, CA3. And this again gives kind of a memory boost, and it even, in this case, animal models, promotes neurogenesis and reduces amyloid beta. And this is mainly the work of our lead scientist and co-founder, Professor Hampson at Wake Forest. He has done it over the last 30 years, and he has shown the effects in over 60 patients, and together with him, we have shown it in 4 patients. So if you sum it up, what you see here kind of is plotted your full capabilities at 30 on this scale. So now you see you're declining with Alzheimer's, but now you get the boost, and we are reducing the slope dramatically. So it means you can have many more happy years before you need any institutional care. This is the study we have done with Professor Hampson, the results with 4 patients at Wake Forest. And we are now planning our next study with 12 patients with the University of Cologne. We are very happy because they have conducted the most significant nucleus basalis minor stimulations, so for the other part, before. And they are as excited as we are. Last but not least, kind of when we follow the pathway for this class 3 device, thanks to MCRA for checking our timeline, we are in 4.5 years at the market. Hold your horses, all investors, then we will have a great payout and create massively good. And the success rates with devices are way higher than what is known with drugs in comparison. This is also other parts of the team already learned about some of them. I also want to talk about some advisors, including the leaders of the world-leading neurotechnology companies today. And now, for the next step, for the study and the embodiment of the device, we are raising 5 million. We already have 1 million in the company from investors like AIX Ventures around Richard Socher and Stanford Crew, and we have a co-lead for this. So there's a lot of money to earn, but we should finally close this gap in the market for Alzheimer devices, and then we can tap into this $92 billion market opportunity, and very importantly, give patients many more years of happy lives. This woman there is my grandmother, has been as she died, and I would have hoped that we could have gifted her and have these happy years together with her. So I would welcome you kind of to join us on this mission. Thank you.